Welcome to the Zach Djellab channel, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys are doing very well at home. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Joining me today on this very special episode on Monday is none other than Patrick Van Straten and Henry Hill. The boys are doing very, very well. Of course, we've still got our two cameras up and running. They haven't broken in the last 5 minutes. But look, as you can see by the title of this video, we're doing something a little bit different today. I've got a bunch of statements, some that have been created by you guys at home on Twitter by sending them to me. So thank you very much for doing that. And some that I've added in myself. And the boys are going to have to answer true or false to the statements, and then we'll talk a little bit about them and why. And to kick things off, I wonder who sent this one in. Cole Palmer is the best player in the Premier League. True or false?
False. Not in a bad way, in my opinion. I just think he has creative license and superiority over everyone in the Chelsea squad. And therefore, I think in that kind of Hazard mould, he is being given... I mean, look, don't get me wrong. Amazing finisher, amazing left foot, and actually off the ball is really, really impressive as well as on the ball. Is he better... Is he the best player in the Premier League?
I'm not
convinced.
Yeah.
I just think that the nature of who he is and what he represents to Chelsea, the emblematic figure which he's taken on, gives him a bit more shine potentially than is warranted. But I'd certainly say he is one of the best players in the Premier League. Yeah, without
Who do you have ahead of him then?
Patrick, what do you think? Let me have
Yeah, true or false, Pat? True or false?
False, but like, why are you saying it's like? Ooh,
I'm
the
going
I think,
true.
Salah, I
the
think
controversy.
Salah
Ooh.
is still better than him, in my opinion. I'd even say Saliba plays a greater role. Like, I think Saliba...
when Rodri's fit, like, but
Yeah,
Salah and Saka are at least at the same level. I think Haaland is just like the best striker in the world. Like, I think Cole Palmer is phenomenal. He's world class. He's amazing, and you can go into form where you're playing like the best player in the league. That's not quite the same thing as being the best player in the league, you know. But also, I think everyone's kind of talking about this because he scored 4 goals in a game, but like, and it was an incredible performance. This is not to take away from it, but like at the same time, one's an open goal, one's a penalty. Like it's the other.
Crazy
It's more. It's more the stuff like the pass for Jackson that then gets cleared off the line. Like that's the stuff that I look at and I'm like, okay, this is where I see that Palmer is world class. It's not like because he scored the 4 goals in a game. Like obviously that's amazing, but like I don't know. I think if you're just saying this week because of 4 goals at the weekend, then I think you should have also. I don't know. You should have also been saying this last week or the week before. You know what I'm saying?
Consistency in it. Yeah.
To me, what's impressive is like Palmer's ability to both be an excellent goal scorer and be an incredible creator. It's not just because he scored 4 goals at the weekend.
I still don't think people have realised about his creative side yet as well.
Really?
Yeah, I think a lot of people talk about it all the time as this like goal scorer. Indeed,
Pen
I don't
merchant.
think people talk.
Yeah, you're right.
But,
He can't score
but I
goals,
don't
he
think people
scores pens.
realise about like the creativity, that the amount of chances people have missed. That he's done this little off the right side,
But that happens
kind
to
of
everyone.
dinked ball over that. That has been missed quite a few times. But yeah, I do think people don't maybe give him enough credit. You mentioned him. Erling Haaland is the best striker we've ever seen in the Premier League. So I saw
What
we
does that
saw
mean?
we saw some people mentioning that Michael Owen apparently was better than him.
Well, that's stupid. Come on.
I think for me, true. I'm always
Owen
happy
never
to back that. Like,
Owen never got near that level.
the guy's a freak.
I think as a pure goal scorer, he is pretty remarkable. You know when Timo Werner kept going one-on-one against
yeah, against
You just
United.
knew he wasn't going to score.
Yeah.
I have
Opposite.
no bone in my body that doubts that Haaland will score when he's one-on-one. And did you see the goal that City scored against Slovan Bratislava, where Rico Lewis just walked up to the kind of final third? Bratislava did nothing. Their centre-backs parted and left Haaland in space, and he just played it straight to. It's just one of the most remarkable goals I've ever seen because it was just so easy. And I'm like, how can you possibly do that and leave that guy one-on-one? Anyway, sorry. The point is
That is part of
do
being
I
a
think
striker, make yourself free.
I still
Playing
think
Barcelona.
I will die on this hill. I still think Harry Kane is a more rounded player than Haaland with a goal record.
So you think Harry Kane was
I
a
think
better
anyone can deny
striker than Erling Haaland in the Premier League?
He's got a better career. He's got a much longer career and played more varied roles on worse teams. Like
I just
Yes.
still think
that's a reasonable argument to make.
no.
certainly.
I was just putting out.
I don't
argument
think
there.
it's really hard, but I think what everything that Kane does, for me, makes him a better player, and then I don't look at his record and think, oh yeah, I know he hasn't won anything.
Well,
But
if Kane's at City,
you're an idiot. I think you're an idiot if you go, oh well, Haaland's won trophies at City. Of course he has. So
if Kane was at City, he would have broken the Premier League goal scoring record.
I agree. I genuinely believe that. So I don't think you can say Haaland is fundamentally a better striker than Harry Kane, who in my lifetime is the best striker we've ever seen in the Premier League.
I think Haaland stretches.
There are better players like Suarez and Henry are better players than Haaland. They're better strikers than Haaland. They could do a lot more stuff.
So you're saying false.
But their job was not just to be a pure goal scorer. So it's just not really. I mean, as a pure goal scorer, yeah, he's probably the best we've seen. But at the same time, if Alan Shearer had played for this Man City side, I mean, he was
I don't really
he was
remember
the
Shearer.
no, but he was
Was he?
He is very similar, in the sense that he was just an incredible goal scorer.
Finisher, yeah.
Both feet, amazing in the air, played for much worse sides, won a title with Blackburn, which is bananas. But he and Andy Cole, and I guess people would say Van Nistelrooy, but I think Van Nistelrooy gets overhyped. But those guys were pure goal scorers.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've also never seen a kind of attacking machine like Manchester City, so it's extremely difficult to rate these guys versus it. But I mean, I would still say that a few of the Henry seasons and the Suarez 13-14 seasons are the best seasons I've ever seen by a forward in the Premier League.
Yes.
Okay.
Alvarez got sold for £90 million this year. Even Iheanacho left for about 30 million. I'm not putting them in the same category as Haaland. Haaland is obviously way better. The point is, you can look incredibly good in this Manchester City system, and when you're as good as Haaland, it takes you to another level. But I agree with everything that Pat said. There are players who are technically better than him that existed. Suarez for me maybe is going to stand out. Yeah.
It's partially down to personal preference as well, I guess, right?
Yeah,
and what you see a striker being and doing.
Sure.
He's a beast. He's unbelievable.
Next one. Eddie Howe will still be managing Newcastle at the end of the season. True or false?
True.
I think probably true.
Okay. Go on. You guys saw. I'm still not sure.
I think you have to bear in mind that Amanda Staveley and the other guy, is it Godos?
Moved on.
Or
moving on.
There's change there. I don't think they want to upset. I think you have to take the context of their poor summer window and the fact they didn't really equip him with anything new to take it.
So you don't think he'll be England manager?
The England manager? No, I think they're going to give the job to Lee Carsley and be done with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Eddie Howe is in a really strong bargaining position, and I think Newcastle will continue to get better, particularly with Gordon, Barnes, Isak. They've just got great players. So yes, I think. Are you asking if I think he'll be sacked or if
it's just whether you think he'll be the manager of Newcastle at the end of the season.
I think
so that involves all of it.
I think he will. Yes, I don't think he'll be fired, and I don't think he'll take a new job in between now and the end of the season. So yes, I think he'll still be there.
Okay, you agree, Pat?
I just don't. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they sacked him, but I don't think they got the money. They don't have a lot of money right now, so I don't know why you'd chuck away a bunch of it on sacking Howe in order to do what? If they chucked him and then they brought in Schmidt, Tuchel, that would be pretty interesting. I just don't see that happening. So sacking him is essentially a lot of money to probably not level up.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it. You might as well give him the season. Again, Newcastle might be good and they might not be, but they let Yankuba Minte go this summer. And Elliot Anderson go, and they got in good money for those guys, but they had to do a lot of kind of rejigging to meet PSR demands. I don't see why you'd put yourself another 5-10 million behind the 8 ball on this.
Okay. This one, Erik ten Hag will still be manager of Manchester United come Christmas. True or false? I think false. I just don't see a world where in the next 2 months the results get better and United will keep him on. I think results are going to either get worse or stay the same, which is negative. And at that point, they're going to have to pull the trigger. And maybe they go, Van Nistelrooy, you're interim till the end of the season. It's already too far gone. We don't have to get the new manager in just yet. But I just don't think Erik ten Hag will be the manager. I will be genuinely really shocked if he's still there by Christmas, if things are still the same. If he changes it, of course, but I just don't see that happening. True or false, boys? Will he be manager he will be manager at the end by Christmas.
I really don't know. I think they should probably stick with him, for the financial reasons we talked about on last week's episode. But I kind of suspect he will be gone.
Yeah, I think he might.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I think the pressure's going to grow too much.
Okay, this one, Liverpool have been lucky due to their fixtures so far. If you that's a true or false. Compare them to say Arsenal and City. Liverpool have yet to play anyone ninth or above in the league. So haven't played Brighton, haven't played Spurs.
Why does that make them lucky?
Newcastle.
It makes them look better.
Does it make them look better than they are?
I mean,
this is kind of the
that's
question.
true. That's an undeniable fact. Like, you can look at strength of schedule, and they've had one of the easiest schedules in the league.
Okay, let's change that. Liverpool aren't as good as they are being made to look.
No, that I disagree
True or
with.
false?
I think Liverpool are really, really good.
Okay.
They have had an easy schedule, but they've also made the schedule look easy. I mean, like the Forest game aside, they have been overwhelmingly dominant. They're just really, really good. Like, they're going to be right up there with the other top two sides. I have no doubt about that. But have they had an easy schedule? Yeah, of course. But that's not really that big a deal. Like, they've also played really, really well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they've looked really solid. I think if you look at the Champions League last week, so many banana skins across Europe, they just rolled over Bologna.
Especially after
they
having...
didn't even look like they were struggling.
The Milan game was just like a joke.
Milan were
It was just
poor
easy.
as well.
You're right.
You are
it's
right.
like away at the San Siro.
Yeah,
it's
not
still not
easy,
like that is a tougher game than going away to West Ham or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've looked really good, and given they've changed manager, I think very impressive. Yes, and Salah looks amazing still, which is really impressive.
John Duran is top 5 strikers in the league.
That's just stupid. He's had like 10 shots in the league, and that's not an exaggeration. I think he's actually had 10 shots in the league.
He's scored 9.
He's a great guy to come on in the last minutes games against tired legs, but he's also been finishing like a demon. He scored 5 goals, I think, he scored 4 goals in the league from 1.8 xG. That is not because he's like the greatest finisher of all time. Nobody puts shots from 30 yards in like every single game for the rest of their lives. Yeah, but okay. So our options here are he's the best long range shooter of all time, like better than Messi, better than Ronaldo, better than like Coutinho, who was great at that, like better than everybody, or he'll slow down a bit. I think he's going to be a good striker. Like, he's really physically gifted. He works hard. Like, he's obviously got a great touch. Like, the finish against Bayern, he's not even facing the right way. Yeah. He's kind of facing sideways and holding off the defender, and wraps his foot around it and plays it perfectly just out of Neuer's reach. But he's not going to score from 30 yards all the time. Like, it's.
And I do think it'd be really interesting seeing him when he like starts consistently. Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen this season unless something happens to Watkins. But I do wonder what level he kind of maybe we see the realism side a little bit more when he's not coming up against maybe a tighter defence.
Even the goal he scored against Young Boys, which was disallowed, was such a good finish. But yeah, it's not
top 5, top 10.
It's very Premier League reactive to go, oh, he's better than Havertz. He's better than Havertz.
Top 10, Henners?
Yeah,
Pat thinks maybe.
He's not better than Havertz. He's not better than Watkins. He's not better than a fit Isak, though. Who knows if we'll ever see that guy again. Haaland. Nunez, I love as well. Like, Jackson, I think, has to be in this conversation. Like, is he better than all these guys? Like, maybe he will be, but is he currently? Like, he's not even starting for Villa. And that's not a problem because he's a great impact sub. But if he were better than Watkins, he'd start over Watkins.
I agree. I will say, though, I love John Duran. He's maybe my favourite player this season. I love it when he comes on.
He's great.
I love his name. I love. He's just cool.
He's kind of like Endrick as well. Do you not think? Yeah. Like, obviously, he's a completely different physical specimen, but like, the power that he generates, Endrick is exactly the same way. Everything that Endrick hits, he hits at 100 miles an hour, and it makes him, I think, a plus finisher. So
I am so happy that Endrick is as good.
He started
against Lille. Really, I know they lost. There's one run where he just picks up the ball and he just drives into the box. I remember, when you watch a player, sometimes you just know that there's something special about them. He looks unbelievable, Endrick, and I'm so pleased because there's a chance that was going to be, there's a lot of money to pay for a boy. So
tiny baby boy. He looks honestly 12 years old.
He does. Yeah,
and he's married.
He's married. Everton won't be relegated.
Gross.
True or false?
True.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think as I said before, they've not been as bad as the results have made them look, and they finally got a little thing that swung for them against Palace. So I do. I don't
think the worst thing they could do is the freaking owners could just sack Sean Dyche because they think he's not progressive.
But like, I think they'll make sure they're safe first. But Dwight McNeil also, deserves credit for putting that team on his back right now. I mean, 2 great finishes at the weekend, but also he's the top player in the league for expected assists so far this season. He's created a lot of chances, and they're not just all crosses and set pieces. He's got more through balls than anybody else in the league as well. Like, he has been really, really good, and he's basically played a free role. I looked at his heat maps from like last season and this season, and last season, as you'd imagine, it's just all on like the left-hand side, just parked out on the left-hand side, whipping crosses in. This season, it's been everywhere, all over the pitch. He's been allowed to do whatever he wants, and he's still only 24. Like, there's some creative ability coming out there. So I think Dwight McNeil will have a good season, and I think Everton will be okay.
Okay, I tend to agree. This one is a big one, actually. Olise is the best winger in the world. This comes from Palace ATV.
No. Shut up.
He is better than Saka and Vinicius.
False.
False.
He's just an idiot. Just like,
he is
down.
very good.
He's better than Yamal. He's better than Saka. He's better than Salah. Like,
Vinicius is about to win the Ballon d'Or. Like, what? Olise's better than him, is he? Because he's looked good against fucking Wolfsburg.
Yeah, he's actually playing in a terrible league. And I'm sorry, but they got... look, I think Bayern are a danger this season, but they got... I don't know if it was like deservedly beaten, but they certainly didn't deserve to win against Villa. So maybe when you can win away at Villa Park, maybe then you're a contender for the best winger in the world. But otherwise,
he's a great
you know who's
player.
done that?
Great
Saka.
player.
Shut up.
This one's for you, Henners. Smith Rowe will have a Cole Palmer-esque season.
What do you mean,
Jesus.
Will? He is having a Cole Palmer.
He's better than Cole Palmer.
Yeah, that should be the question. Is Smith Rowe better than Cole Palmer?
Weird, but it's a pointless question. Isn't it? We all know the answer.
It's like Fulham. He's the only player that can do what he's doing at Fulham, other than maybe Andreas Pereira, and he's more interesting in the final third than Andreas Pereira. So yes, I think my one down there has died, which is a shame. So you're gonna have to look at me over here. Andreas Pereira is not Andreas. Emil Smith-Rowe is just in the dream position, I think, right now. He has total freedom at a club that really need him, and he's surrounded by his mates. He's having a great time. Yeah. He's doing the business.
Okay, just a couple more then before we go. Quinton, Arsenal will go another year with no trophies. True or false?
False. I genuinely think they're going to win the Champions League. I'm not saying that. I'm not even an Arsenal fan.
They could just win it. They could just win it.
They are winning ugly.
Could just win the Champions League.
No, that one I don't believe.
Do you think,
how many teams are in the Champions League who are definitively better than Arsenal? 2.
Yeah, but the Champions League's just funny, man. Like,
no, I agree, but he's saying they. I'm not saying they will. I don't think they will either. The odds are always against any one team winning it. But could they do it? Like, sure. Could they win a cup? Like, sure.
There is something about the way they're playing which makes them a cup team problem, because they are capable of playing on the front foot, but also super comfortable playing on the back foot, and they are tactically outmaneuvering almost every team that they play. They made PSG look so average, and I think once you get into the crunch 2-legged fixtures, where you just need to grind out boring away results, I think Arsenal are like a better Atletico when they need to be, and then a super exciting team when they need to be too. So I think they are a perfect recipe for a cup win this season. And in the Champions League, that result against PSG has given me the confidence that they could definitely do something, particularly teams like Real Madrid not really finding their feet, Barcelona being meh. Like, City were lucky to draw against Inter Milan in some regards.
And we're lucky to draw against Arsenal. Yeah. Arsenal have been away to the Emirates, to Spurs, to Villa, to Atalanta, then played PSG, and basically in none of those games has a team like really laid a glove on them in attack. They're just kind of fine defensively, and they don't have Odegaard at the moment, who is at least in their top 2 or 3 players.
I'm saying false.
There is the whole Arsenal bottle job thing isn't without merit. Arsenal have blown leads recently, and they still haven't won a major trophy since the lockdown FA Cup. So there is that looming over their head, but I just feel now more than ever they look ready and set. It just depends how they do in the crunch games.
Okay, final one. Marco Silva is the most underrated Premier League manager.
You were saying he was level D the other day, so I'm not even going to engage with you on this one, Zach. You disrespected.
Did I have a level D?
You and you and Mikey disrespected him.
Mikey took control of that one. He was throwing people anywhere. Eric Ten Hag ended up in A, mate, until I stepped in. You didn't do much about that.
Marco Silva.
I just think is it Thomas Frank or him? Is it Thomas Frank or him for me?
I don't think anyone underrates Thomas Frank.
I think people do underrate Thomas Frank, but people at least still recognise he's a good manager. I think
there
are still people
maybe
who
true,
are like Marco Silva. Is he good? Is he crap?
Maybe true,
He's good.
Yeah, I'll give you true.
Again, contextually, he has complete control over that dressing room. I think he's able to sign the players he wants. Players are coming to play for him.
But he has deserved that himself.
No, he has. And do you know why? It's because he had that horrible moment in his career where he was bouncing around clubs, Watford, Everton. He was showing literally zero loyalty to any. He's like a social climber, like nothing I've ever seen. And he's been smart and realised that a career is long, and you can just spend a few years at a club building something. And he's done that, and he's been so. Yeah, I think he is such a good manager. I love Marco Silva. Sorry.
There we have it. Nicely done. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video on Monday. If you did, maybe I'll break this a weekly fixture, this kind of true or false video on a Monday. Let me know in the comments below. And leave your true and falses down there as well, especially after this weekend's football. Make sure you check out the boys as well. If there are links in the description, you can just click on them and they'll be there for you. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and we'll see you later. Bye.